Hello, I'm Vic Gilgis. Nice to see you. On this video, I would like to again talk about the three principles of mind, consciousness, and thought, as described to us, revealed to us by Sydney Banks. The way I'm going to do it today is by way of an analogy to look at the three principles in terms of a pipe, a hose pipe. Now, I suppose all of us, or most of us, have used a hose pipe. Water the garden, water the flowers. And the way I see it in this analogy is that the flow of water through the hose pipe is the flow of life. Sid Banks called that mind. Life's intelligence, whatever you want to call it, that's what's flowing through the pipe. It's flowing through us. It goes through there. That is going through the extended part of the analogy is to think of the end of the hose where you've got the spray, the spray gun. And a few years ago, I bought a thing that I could fit into the end of the spray gun, which was like a grow more tablet. So you fitted it in the end of the hose, and the water passed through the tablet of grow more, and it made the flowers grow even better. And so the way I would like you to relate to this is that that tablet there at the end, which alters the water, is our we have a system of thought, but it's our thoughts. And so our consciousness, in terms of the three things, is the fact that we are aware. We notice that all this is going on. That behind everything, before there's even form, before there's even a thought, the fact is we've got life's energy flowing through us, like the water through the hose pipe. We have got a brain, which in this analogy is like the sprayer at the end with the tablets of I don't know, flower fertilizer. Now, the thing is that without that tablet being there, the water, well, what I'm saying is what the plants really need is just the water. They will survive with the water. That is their life force. But the way in which I'm describing this is that the sprayer at the end, which contains the tablet fertilizer, enhances that particular part of the water that comes through. But in terms of our thinking, if we look at that as the flow going through our thought process, then that can be good thoughts, bad thoughts, indifferent thoughts, because we'll always be like that when things go through our brain being like a computer. It is conditioned, and we have an ego, and so whatever is happening there will be coloured, like the flavouring at the end on the spray gun, by our thoughts. And so there we are. If we have got good thoughts, the analogy is that we have got this grow more tablet at the end of the hose, and it's enhancing things. If we have bad thoughts, then it's something that is not conducive to the water going through. Or if we've even got a blockage at the end of the hose, so that means that we're holding on to a particular thought, then fresh thought or fresh water through the hose cannot come through, and therefore the flowers don't get the benefit. We don't get the benefit of the life flowing through us. So there we are. I hope that explains in some way how the principles work through us. The fact that the water which goes through the hose, which feeds the flowers, it's like the life energy going through us, which feeds us, nourishes us, and has got intelligence in it, and we benefit from that. If we stop the flow, then nobody benefits. And one of the ways of stopping the flow is that we hold on to a particular thought and block fresh thoughts coming through. But we have free will, and we can choose to dwell on a particular thought if we want, but we know that there are consequences there, that if we have a predisposition for dwelling on the thoughts which can be from the past or worry about the future, then that's the way we will keep stuck. If we have more of a predisposition to noticing that those thoughts don't particularly help us or won't particularly help the flowers grow, then we, having noticed that, will be open to, well, changing the record, as it were, to not getting attached to those particular thoughts, because those particular thoughts really what we've imagined and are not necessarily true. So knowing that our thoughts are not necessarily true because they are just from our conditioning, just from our ego, just from the way we see things, they appear true to us, but they are not true. They are not real in the sense of what is actually going on. They are our, say, thoughts about the world and things around us, but they're filtered through that computer of our brain. And when we start to see the significance of that, then we stop. We can see that it's not necessary to take our thoughts seriously because they are what they are, and in doing so, we're not holding on to them. That does encourage fresh thoughts. Now, the whole thing about this is that when we allow thought to flow clearly, because we're not attaching or making real any particular thoughts, then we've got free flow of thought. But also, because that flow, like the water helping the flowers, then that flow is life's intelligence, and that is always there in the now for us. And therefore, if we're concerned that not thinking or worrying about stuff will take our eyes off the ball, then that's not to worry, because if we notice anything that is untowards or needs doing in the moment, we will always do that anyway, because we are aware through our consciousness of what's going on, and we will react. But also in this, we do know that we can rely upon something that is far superior and more in the moment than our particular thoughts, which are always based on history and our conditioning, our upbringing, etc. That in the moment, our consciousness, our awareness can always be of what is being told to us by life's energy, and we can pick up on that. And we pick up on that better when we've not got our head stuck on our thoughts. So I've kind of gone round the houses there to tell you that the principles themselves are all that we need. All that we need is that flow of water through the hose, which is, Sid Banks called it mind, and it's got intelligence in it. It's life's energy flowing through us, and that at the end of the hose, which is the spray gun, is akin to our brain. We can have this thought, that thought, depending upon what nozzle we've got at the end, and that can help feed the flowers or not feed the flowers. Doesn't really matter so long as the water's getting through. And that holding on to particular thoughts is just blocking the flow of intelligence coming through us, which is there always in the background when we've not got our head stuck in thought. So I suppose what I'm saying, I'm long-winded analogy about this hosepipe, but I just hope that I'm explaining that knowing about the principles, or understanding how the three principles work of mind, consciousness and thought, enable us to see that we have always got intelligence running through us. It's there. It will make us aware of its wisdom. The only thing that can douse that or dull that is the fact that we're running things through our mind, which is off our intellect, which has obviously got bias, which is limited from our knowledge, from our experience, and is always tainted by that. So our mind, with a small m, as again Sydney Banks is a capital M for mind, our mind is limited to us, but we are part of the intelligence of life, and that is unlimited, it's infinite, and we can always draw on that because it's within us, and because we have consciousness we are aware of that. And also not to decry thoughts, because as I say, without thought, that they are the missing link to they are our creative process, that we do have thoughts, and those thoughts that come to mind can be, when we're not kind of held up in a particular thought, can be just from pure consciousness, untainted by our ego, our conditioning, and full of wisdom. And in the moment we will know what to do. We can benefit from that, and understanding that means that we can rely less upon our individual or personal thoughts, because there is a universal thought that we have always access to, and we have access to that because we can be aware of it through our consciousness. So I've gone a long way around with the analogy. I hope it's helped you. Thanks for bearing with me. Thank you very much.